What's up, guys? It's end of July, early August, and I kind of just wanted to run you through a few things that are on my mind as we're about 2 months away from the opener here in Michigan. And I want to primarily hit on 3 or 4 points depending on how you look at them. The first one being, at this time of year, I really just want my property, again, I'm on 6 acres suburban. There's a lot of bordering, very woods-esque parcels, but nonetheless, this 6 acres what I can control. And I want it to be a sanctuary for the deer. So with that being said, what do deer do not want in their sanctuary? They don't want human scent, human traffic, just general interruption from any external forces. So what I'm doing to essentially create that environment for them is I came in here and I finally got around to finalizing my food plot. So behind the camera, I have a row of Egyptian wheat, and then the rest of this will be oats and clover. Got fertilizer on there. I did lime earlier this year, so everything should be good to go come late September, early October. Hopefully I won't have to sit over this plot for a bit, especially to get a few of the good deer that I have in front of me. So that's one thing, just get the food plot done. The other is get your stands finalized as soon as possible. Because if you come in here middle of September, even late September, I know some people who have come in, and I actually used to do this myself, on public land or even on my other private pieces. I would come in like a week before the season started, walk around, find a deer trail or two, and then put a stand over it. But at that time, you're leaving your scent everywhere. That scent's relatively fresh, so you'd prefer just to have your scent here when it's not as relevant to, I guess, your time frame. So I guess like right now, again, we have 2 months, so I don't care if I leave a bunch of human scent. We have a bunch of rain on the forecast, so it'll probably wash away anyways. So yeah, that is one thing I really want to kind of just get set in stone. Here are my stands. I'll kind of throw in some videos as well of my stand setups. I'm going in there, I'm practicing drawing in all the different directions where I think a deer could be coming in. I'm thinking of every scenario. Like if this deer comes in behind me, how am I gonna move? What tree am I gonna use as cover? So on and so forth. So yeah, really just getting everything set in stone. So when October 1st comes, granted there's no major storms and a tree doesn't fall down that my stand is in, I can climb up in the tree. I only have saddles set up, so I like them a lot more for hunting. I feel much more mobile, less movements, etc. But when October 1st comes, I can just jump up in the saddle, put my bow up, and I am plug and play. I don't have to worry about, oh shoot, I gotta go up there, throw my stand up, get everything finalized. No, everything is finalized on, I think today is July 28th. So everything will be good to go today, and when that sleepless night of September 30th or 31st comes by, I know that everything is in good shape. So, and then kind of lastly on that same note, cameras. So right now, I did a lot of my summer scouting on this property, kind of seeing where the deer tend to move. Early season, I have a lot of data from the past from where deer like to move during the rut. That's primarily in some bedding back there. But for early season, I have 2 routes that they primarily take, and kind of just seeing how I can use various wind directions to do that. So yeah, let me show you guys some of my stand setups and maybe even a little bit of the food plot, and we will be good to go. So here is my main stand. This stand is looking over my food plot / kill plot, whatever you want to call it. And this is where I hope to be spending most of my time depending on the wind. And let me give you a little preview and show you my thought process around everything. So here itself is the food plot. I'm probably about up the tree about 15-20 feet, not super high, but yet it goes downhill into the food plot, so I'm probably about 25 to 30 feet above there. So my thought process behind here is all of the bedding is right back there, probably about 100-200 yards. And with all the bedding being back there, I want to be in a place where I'm able to capitalize that movement off of there, but also not too close, as I don't want to bump them out of there. I want to get in and out with stealth. So With that being said, I have a path that goes from here all the way back to the access. That goes back to the houses nearby, so there's not any deer coming from over there. But yeah, so the deer will come from this little area right here, or they'll kind of come off of this ridge over there where they tend to kind of just go over there, get a peek as to what's going on this side of the hill, and then work their way in. So what this spot primarily lets me do is use this big oak as cover, and then I am able to hit them when they're coming in through that side or through that side. And then even if for some reason they decide to come down through the swamp and come up, I can see them come from all the way down there. Basically, they would come all the way around, and then they would come up right here, which I've seen them do plenty of times. So with that being said, it would be a little tough to get a shot off with them coming right up, as I wouldn't have much cover, as it's primarily open right there. But with that being said, there are a lot of trees, say right down in that area, where I'm able to kind of use as a barrier to draw. So that would be nice. I think that'd be pretty cool footage too if the deer is just right there when I were to get a shot off. But yeah, I think as a whole, the plot itself will kind of be just the main area of focus with them coming off of bedding, especially once this gets going. I really think that they won't take the long way around. I think that they'll pretty much just come straight here, because I think before they've just been grazing along as they go, but now when they have a little bit more of a quote-unquote destination, I think that they'll have a little bit more of a sense of direction and sense of urgency when coming there. So here is my second saddle setup. It's one that's a little bit to the north of everything, and primarily we get a lot of like southwest wind, southwest, especially in the early season. And this is kind of like it's not the best stand in terms of being, I guess, concealed or in the best place to travel, but it's still pretty decent. If anything, it's more of like a throwaway stand where we're like, hey, there's a cold front, but it's not the best wind. So kind of walk you through what's going on here. So the food plot is over there. You can kind of see just a little bit of sun on the lighter brown. However, the deer tend to use the swamp. It's kind of hard to see. It's like a little valley swamp looking thing that kind of curls around the food plot and almost does like a half moon around it. And the deer will, it depends. Sometimes they're bedding up on a ridge over here, or they're way back in the swamp back there. But regardless, I've noticed that on camera that they're coming through off of this, whether they're coming from bedding in there or from way back there, probably 200, 300, 400 yards, depending on where they're sitting. I really have no idea. I just know that they're in that general direction. But a lot of times though, they're coming off of this. There's a little ridge right here. They're coming off this ridge and then working this bottom, still staying in cover, but they're also able to kind of see out through here. If they're a little bit insecure about the food plot up there, then they will kind of come downwind, like again, come right here and check the wind and then work their way up on a little trail that goes right up there. However, with it being early October, I don't want to sit over my primary food source here, just in case I get there and there's a doe, young buck, or just a buck that I don't want to shoot that's there late. I just don't want to be stuck over that stand and not being able to get out. So sitting here should allow me to get in and out pretty easily, usually with a pretty typical wind. But if there's like a cold snap with the north wind, then I'll be at my main stand. But for now, I kind of just want to set this one up, just playing and thinking of every angle that I can, just so I can get as much time in the tree and not bump the deer away, at least the one that I'm looking for. So yeah, got a nice little shooting lane right here. This is the one I think if I were to shoot one out of, you'd be coming off there. Like I said earlier, hit him right here. There's another one right there. If for some reason he comes off the food plot, he'll come right down there, and I don't love frontal shots, but I would be comfortable making one if his head's up looking at me. But besides that, it's really just those two. By the off chance that he comes behind me, I also have a little bit of cover right here where I can turn around and shoot him right there. But as a whole, kind of just trying to draw in all these different scenarios, seeing how it feels, seeing where the pinch points might be in a good and bad sense, and just kind of feeling it out.